What's good, takers? We got the Doctor Strange trailer up next on the first take. Marvel, baby. Yo, what's good, people? I'm Eddie Reese, and yes, like I said in the intro, Marvel have returned with a brand new trailer dropped last night. Got a ton of emails and requests telling me to check this one out. Yes, Doctor Strange, as I like to say, featuring Benedict Cumberbatch. I can't say it any other way. I don't even like saying it the regular way. This sounds so cool saying it that way. But yo, Scott Derrickson's the director. Mostly known for horror movies, namely Sinister. So I'm real curious to see how he adapted his style into that Marvel world. And this is just something it's not talking, man. Let's get into it. Give it to me, give it to me.
Stephen Strange. Might I offer you some advice? Forget everything that you think you know.
You're a man looking at the world through a keyhole. You've spent your life trying to widen it. Your work saved the lives of thousands. What if I told you that reality is one of many?
I don't believe in fairy tales about chakras or energy or the power of belief.
You wonder what I see in your future? Possibility.
Why are you doing this?
There are other ways to save lives.
Yo.
So much you don't know.
Teach me.
Teach me? Is there more? You don't see a lot. It's just a teaser trailer after all. Still got a long time to wait. I think like November or some shit that it drops. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Definitely. I'm pretty familiar with most comic book characters, especially Marvel ones. But Doctor Strange is one of the ones I never really delved into. So I was really kind of curious. I was familiar enough with the character that I was curious enough to see how they were going to interpret him in a live action adaptation of it. But I was curious as though how much of that style of the comic books was going to come, because it's a pretty psychedelic comic book if you've never seen it before. Real trippy 60s 70s vibe to it, just crazy colors in the comic book. And I was really just curious to see how much of that would make it in. And the color palette is a lot more muted than it is in those early comics, but the psychedelic element definitely seems to be there. You can tell that this director has his hands or has experience doing horror and tension, because it definitely has that touch to it. There was that creepy element. They were really trying to convey that, but it wasn't too dark, it still had that sort of wonder about it. And what was cool, what I actually kind of like, and what it reminded me of, was Batman Begins. Maybe sacrilege because Doctor Strange Marvel and Batman being DC, but that period in Batman Begins especially is part of the whole Batman lore of when he's traveling the world, learning, discovering not just as much as he can about himself, but just the world around him, and philosophical ideas and all of that shit. And there's a touch of that in this. You see him traveling. I believe the original story was that he's a surgeon, like best in the country. His hands are, his most valued tool. because of the precision that he needs to be, the surgeon that he is. But he has a car accident, I believe, and it just crushes the bones in his hands. And as much as he is able to heal, to the point that they don't have to amputate, he can't use them for surgery anymore. It's just fucked. He's fucked. So he goes traveling the world trying to find a way to get that dexterity that he had back, finding a way to find a cure or a remedy or something that can get his hands back to how they were before the accident. But in the process, he kind of discovers this sort of world of magic and all of this shit, and so he decides to go, yeah, fuck being a doctor, dedicate his life to magic and the outer realms of the Marvel universe. And you definitely get a sense of that, kind of much like that kind of a psychedelic, a superpowered version of what we saw in Bruce Wayne doing in Batman Begins. And one thing they answered, which I was really curious to see whether they would do, once Benedict Cumberbatch was cast, a lot of people weren't sure where they were going to go with the accent of the character, because the character's American, but you weren't sure whether they were going to try and maybe make him, because it was Cumberbatch and he has a pretty recognizable voice, whether they were just going to let him just do his English thing, which would have actually kind of worked, wouldn't have minded it. But it seems like he's decided to just kind of go with what the character is, the tradition of the character, and just play it American. I think it would have worked being British in the sense that it would have separated him more, because a lot of people worry that he may look too much like Tony Stark, because he's a very arrogant man as well, the character. But Benedict Cumberbatch is such a crazy looking face as it is. I don't think there's any really worry about the two, him and Downey, being considered too similar to each other. So I don't think that's a worry at all. And it sounds cool, man. It sounds cool. He pulls it off, definitely. Oh, before we go, we got a Chiwetel Ejiofor, looking intense. He's kind of like supposed to be the guy who's with him while he's learning the ways of the magic. Yo, we got to see Tilda Swinton as well. I forget the name of the character that she plays, but there was the controversial there. It was controversial because the character is supposed to be Far Eastern, like a Chinese, I believe, character, and she was definitely dressed. She had the clothes of that, but yeah, obviously the face. But I'm not sure whether they're gonna have her as a shapeshifter, or so I think that was one of the powers that character has. So I guess that's something I'm gonna reserve judgment on until the film comes out. I don't really want to jump in and judge it and make all these presumptions until we see it, because we don't know. We don't know what they have in store for their character. The Tilda Swinton depiction may only just be one aspect of the character that we see, and then we may never see it again after this film. It may go to, you know, because it's supposed to be a man as well. He may change his appearance film to film, or even halfway. We don't know. So I'm not really gonna get too caught up on that. But it's Tilda Swinton, man. She's an amazing actress, so she can put it off. She's gonna be entertaining to watch regardless. And yo, what the fuck? That shit with like Inception, with the buildings turning in on themselves, like dimensions. They were like parallel dimensions, because it wasn't even like everything was folding. It was just separating into these. But it was. Yo, I'm up for this. I love it, man. Marvel killing it. They are killing it, and they're confident. Right now, they are freaking confident. They don't give a fuck. The fact that they allowed critics, the press, to view Civil War 1 month before it gets released in the States, and 2 weeks before it gets released over here. And I think the embargo on their reviews lifts today, so it's still a month out. They don't give a fuck. They're like, yo, we've got a good film. We know it's good. Say what you want. Say what you want. They just don't give a fuck. You gotta admire that. You gotta admire that. But yeah, this is definitely a different dimension, no pun intended, for Cumberbatch to play. So I'm definitely into this. And I know his name's Cumberbatch, but I just like Cumberbatch. It just sounds so fucking cool. It just sounds so better. So much better. Once you say it a couple of times, it's gonna be stuck in your head. Can't lay claim. Kevin Smith came up with that shit, but I just can't get it out of my head. I have to say it. So, Benedict Cumberbatch, well done, well done. Yeah, I know it's only a teaser trailer. Shouldn't be laying praise on the dude too much, but so far, first impressions, friggin' thumbs up, man. I like it, and it gets a thumbs up from me. And what do you guys think? Let me know, right? Comments down below. You like the video, Please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I made it recent. This has been my first take to Marvel's Doctor Strange. I need to practice.